Since the Yankees acquired Aroldis Chapman, we've really only known one thing, that they're going to have a very strong back end of that bullpen. But yesterday, Joe Girardi cleared up one very important detail during an appearance on the Yes Network. The Yankees manager said that Chapman, not Miller, not Betances, will enter spring training as the Yankees closer. Of course, we don't know if he'll be suspended and for how long, but it sounds like Chapman will be the Yankees closer when he is an active member of that roster. And Anthony, I want to ask you, are you surprised that Joe Girardi announced this at all, and especially this early?
Yes, definitely. I was shocked that he did it because, I mean, even Brian Cashman, when they made the trade, said that's for another day in terms of what role Chapman would have in the rest of the bullpen, how it would shake out. So I thought it was a little early. You know, there's no reason to make a decision now. And, I mean, unless they feel like Chapman is a guy who needs that sort of stroking, you know, you're the closer, Aroldis, everything's okay. You know, I think Andrew Miller is the kind of guy who can roll with anything. I mean, he made that pretty clear. He talked the talk, and then he acted that way, too, I thought, last year when he came in. You know, who's the closer, him or Betances? And, you know, he did a great job doing it. And, you know, but I think he's sort of a mellow dude and can handle it if that's the role, eighth inning for him.
Yeah, that's what I found so surprising about this, because Miller and Betances went back and forth with the ninth inning last year. They both seemed fine with it, and Joe Girardi didn't announce it purposely. He didn't want the closer role to be tagged on anyone in particular. Now he's announcing it, what, in January?
Very surprising, because that worked really well last year. I remember you're in spring training, and Anthony was down there in Tampa for a time. I was last year, and Miller and Betances are just like, please don't ask me who the closer is, because I have no idea. And they were cool about it. They were nice. It worked out fine. They went into opening day without declaring the closer, and then it shook out. It worked. Why are you going off that script again if you're Joe Girardi? And speaking of off script, I actually wonder if this was kind of an oopsie moment, considering, Anthony, what you mentioned, Cashman laid the message down. We haven't decided yet. Girardi may have accidentally told the truth. I mean, that's speculation. Sometimes they do that, folks. Sometimes they actually tell you the real deal when they get on live television, because I just don't see the purpose. I mean, look, I'm not arguing with Aroldis Chapman as your closer. I just don't see the purpose of settling this in January.
Well, even though Cashman said that, and even though the Yankees made this trade, is it possible that they may know in his personality somewhere there's a piece of him that says, I just want to be a closer. I won't get up for the seventh inning. I won't get up for the eighth inning. Is it possible they made the trade knowing that?
Absolutely, and acting this way and in according with that idea, because, you know, I mean, some guys, the ninth inning is the most important thing, and it says something about them and their worth, their self-worth, their worth as a team, all that jazz. Miller was a guy who could handle the idea of not doing it. You know, he had never been a closer before, and then he was a good closer. I mean, he was the American League reliever of the year last year, 36 saves, whatever it was, and, you know, so he did the job. I mean, to me, it would be so much easier to just go into spring training with Miller as the closer, right, because Chapman may be facing suspension, as we were saying, right, under the domestic violence policy, and then, you know, so you sort of can't expect him to have the job sort of bequeathed to him immediately, and you know, so it just seemed like an unnecessary thing.
Yeah, do you think it's the right call, Andy?
I think they should let it shake out. I don't think they're going to go wrong in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning no matter what they do. So in a sense, I feel silly criticizing. But this idea that, I mean, maybe, Anthony, I can't see anything other than what you said being the truth, that they think that maybe Chapman's the kind of guy that needs that reassurance. But based on what? How well could they know this guy? They just traded for him. They probably talked to him and his agent a couple of times, whereas they really know Dylan Betances and Andrew Miller. So I just say, get to Tampa. I mean, it's too late for that now, but get to Tampa and figure it out. But again, this is a team that's going to be pretty good after the 6th inning, no matter what they do.
Yeah, it's very true. Great back into the bullpen.